Good morning. Thank you, Lynn Blumas and Sue Fairweather for joining us. Lynn, can you tell us a little bit about My Sister's Place?
Sure. So pre-COVID, pre-COVID, My Sister's Place was a center really of gathering for women. It was designed in the years for women to go and create community, find a place to activate themselves, work on things they could do showers, get a hot breakfast, hot lunch, and build up some skills and network in their own communities and find some hope and joy during the day, and also be transitioned into any kind of place they wanted to go, whether it was finding housing or just supporting in legal issues. We had case managers and transition workers that would put them into various resources. So it was a great community, and it was a great way of women connecting.
Thank you. What's it been like during the pandemic?
So COVID, we've had to quickly pivot and change our way of looking at things. So the house has been closed due to COVID, but we've been still doing takeaway lunches and basic needs and everything through a window. We have amalgamated with the coffee house, which is under the umbrella of My Sister's Place, which incorporates men. So we've brought the two together and worked with them as well. So basically it is, handing what we can through the windows, trying to help their needs. Our case managers are still working with women, and it's been a journey trying to find them, hunt them down, meet up with appointments. We can bring them into the house with an appointment. Our staff are in full PPE when that happens, but mostly our staff are going on site to visit clients and trying to keep track as much as possible.
Yeah, it's scary, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Can you tell us a little bit about the work of leaders like Sue and OPSEU Region 1, what that means to My Sister's Place?
Oh, absolutely. So I was going to give a big shout out to Sue and yourself, Danny, because pre-COVID, I think OPSEU has been basically our safety net. They have been there. If we just breathe what we need, OPSEU has been there and jumped on board. I mean, right from running that capital campaign, getting the micro enterprise up and running, supporting the women, just anything we needed. OPSEU has been there, jumped there, raised money, brought in supports, physical and emotional supports. And COVID hit. Sue, oh my gosh, we have a beautiful story. When we were running low on water, I think we just breathed it on our social media. And then hours later, not even hours later, there was water being delivered, to us from Sue having that all organized for us. So we just know we're in good hands always, because OPSEU has been our safety net, always had our back, and we feel safe, we feel secure, because we know we've got that to lean on.
Thank you. Sue, why do you do it?
Oh, wow. Okay. Personally, I think it's really important that as people in the community, as women, anybody can be in the position of the women that you're supporting. Anybody could be. And it's important. Years ago, my little story, years ago, I was on assistance for various times, and it's important to give back. It was important to me to receive, and it's important for me to give back to my community. And My Sister's Place is a really worthy place to give back. Sometimes I feel it's not enough, but you have to remember that you can't do everything. So that's important to me. The tool that I have at my disposal right now is OPSEU. I have that access and that support. When I put out a call for anything, it is OPSEU. OPSEU jumps on it. My sisters and brothers in OPSEU jump on supporting, as well as all my friends, my family, they all jump in, and because they realize how important it is. I get calls all the time that say, Sue, where can we take this? I said, well, just give my sister's place a call, right? Because you often put up lists of things that you need. And so I always draw them to that. And again, OPSEU has always been a huge supporter, and has helped out.
Thank you, Sue. So we know that things are dire, and stuff is hard, and especially for agencies like My Sister's Place. But one of the things that I love so much about My Sister's Place is the micro enterprise, and I think that success stories like my micro enterprise and women that are doing that work can be inspiring. Lynn, will you share a little bit about the micro enterprise and maybe some of the women that are doing amazing work?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it is a wonderful, it's an organic, beautiful story because it has grown organically on the tenacity and resilience of those women that have participated in that program. And basically it is a program where women will come to help themselves, so they're ready to take on the world, and in a safe environment where they feel secure if there's failures, and there's successes. They just feel great doing it. So pre-COVID, the women were selling out of the coach house, which was a beautiful, really cozy little place to work, became kind of an incubating art residency as it was evolving, and women would come with skills already and help mentor other women. And I mean, basically they could just walk in and, create, because beads and jewelry were already donated, and we worked with amazing volunteers that kept us organized so that the women could just come in and create. And I should just mention that, whatever they sold and repurposed, they got 80% of the proceeds and 20% went back into the collective. So they grew their own personal businesses at a time. COVID hit and we weren't ready to quit. So we met virtually once a week since March, talking about things that we could do. And as each woman grew individually, they would try to mentor. So one of our women, Patricia, who is an incredible talent and has a lot of skills, and does struggle on and off with physical and mental health issues, has still bounced back to support all the other women. So she wanted to set up a website. So she did. She took courses. She took all kinds of lessons on how to do that, educated herself, and set up a beautiful website and put up a platform for all her fellow artisans so that they could all sell their jewelry on this site as well. So in the course of that time, we set up everybody with a home studio. They all have their own tools. We took over all the donated jewelry so they could take it apart themselves. Gave them containers so they could have their own little space. She did workshops on just basically how to organize. Then we took over light boxes. She created a light box kit where she made them all ahead of time and then sent them over to the women, and they just had to put it together. So she did a workshop on how to put their light boxes together, how to light them so that they could photograph their own jewelry so they could put it on site. And so and then other artists we've been trying to share it with other artists. It doesn't just have to be the micro enterprise. It can be anybody who's looking for a platform to sell their jewelry or art of any kind. And so she's getting lots of good spots. But I mean, it's called Prance Design. It's her website. It's her initiative. And she is sort of carrying the torch for the micro enterprise. I mean, right now it's a full business, and we've collaborated with her. Basically, I kind of work for her. And I've been photographing the jewelry and sending them to her. And then over the weekend, I think they sold 10 pieces. And that was really, really exciting. And we have one volunteer who's working from home, helping us with the website because it's a lot of work on her, because she is really the talent. And, I've got her busy with Christmas gifts. And I know a lot of people have reached out and said, can Patricia make this? And so she's doing all of that on top of, keeping this website going and supporting the women. And wow, you know, there's been some challenges, and she's finding some things that, you know, we were able to protect her from, but she's heading those challenges really well. And we still meet once a week just for support. And then her and I will meet once a week with a volunteer to just reshape the website. And but she's done all the work. It's an incredible story. And that was, you know, this was something we were working towards before. We were putting her through the peer support program, which was a provincial program, which was costing lots of dollars, having to get her down to Toronto for some of these courses. Then when COVID hit, the opportunity just came, and she was so willing to jump on it, and she did it. And, you know, so in the sign of stress and you know, fear, she was able to, true entrepreneur, in my opinion, true entrepreneur, to be able to just set up a business during that and keep it going and provide hope and mentor women that are struggling. So it's beautiful. We're so impressed with her.
That's amazing. Thank you for sharing.